Hi, I'm Tony Quintana, Plant-Based Eating Program Manager with Animal Protection of New Mexico. My wife Mickey and I are going to present some homemade plant-based Halloween treats. We're going to demonstrate how to make all of these. Today we've got some peanut butter cups, some Mr. Good bars, some crunch bars, and a little bonus content, we made some peanut butter crunch snowballs. So stick around, check out how we made them, and we hope you all have a happy Halloween.
The first thing we're going to make is a version of Mr. Good Bar, and it's very simple. We have some vegan chocolate chips. These ones are from Trader Joe's. These are the semi-sweet chocolate chips. The chocolate chunks from Trader Joe's are not accidentally vegan, but there are other brands. Sometimes Costco has a Kirtland brand that's vegan. Nestle has a 3-ingredient Simply chocolate chip that's accidentally vegan, and Joy Life also has some. So what you do is you just take 8 ounces of chocolate chips and you melt it in the microwave, and then you're going to take 1 cup of peanuts from Mr. Good Bar. You could also do almonds, cashews, maybe pistachios if you like pistachios. And so we are just going to do 1 cup. And what I've done is, if you like your peanut chunks to be a little bit smaller than the halves that we have, take a rolling pin and a cutting board and just smash them. And so we will add these to our 1 cup. And that's probably good. And then you just mix that in to your chocolate. And you can add more or less mix in your nuts, the peanuts, or whatever you choose to use to your liking. This is probably a good ratio to start. So that's about it. So tonight what we're gonna do is we are just going to do drops on a non-stick sheet placed on a baking sheet. You can use parchment paper, I think foil would work, and then we're gonna freeze it. I've also made these where we put them in muffin tins, and that works also, in a little silicone cup in a muffin tin. You could also just lay it out in a pan lined with foil or parchment paper so that you can lift it and cut it into strips. But it's also just as easy to plop them down whatever size you think looks good. Coming out a little big. I am sure the kids will not mind. And then just repeat this until you're ready to put it in the freezer. And we will finish that and freeze it and come back and show you the finished product. Okay, so we're back with our Mr. Good Bar drops here, and this is them directly out of the freezer. And I got 10 out of that bag, but you see they're a pretty good size. So you could make them smaller and get more. If you wanted them like really fancy looking, you could always buy some like little silicone molds to put them in. You could use a melon ball scooper to make like actual little balls. Or you could put them in a baking dish and cut them into squares or strips or whatever. So the nice thing about these mats is they just peel off very nicely. And they do start to get a little melty after a while, so you don't necessarily want to just leave them out for a long time, but it doesn't happen quick. But just if they last long enough to be out any amount of time, keep an eye on the meltiness of them. But there are some vegan Mr. Good Bars.
All right, so now we're going to make a version of a crunch bar. All we did was, again, we took some chocolate chips and we melted them in the microwave till they were nice and melty. We're going to add a cup of crisp rice cereal. You can use any kind that you prefer. And we're just going to mix it in until the cereal is well coated. And you can play around with the ratios of chocolate to cereal. We just found this to be something that we like, that works for us. And it's kind of simple, 8 ounces of chocolate chips to 1 cup of cereal. And it tastes very Crunch Bar-ish to us. So the way we're going to do this one, we're going to do it in a square pan. You can line it with either foil or parchment paper to make it easier to remove and cut into squares. And so now that we've got this nice and mixed in, let me get these last few pieces of cereal. Working with melted chocolate is always fun and never makes a mess. All right, and we're just going to pour it in here. Rubber spatula is going to be your best friend for this, to help you get that chocolate out of the bowl. And we're just going to kind of spread it out in one layer on the bottom of this pan. Doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, the more evenly you get it, the more even thickness your Crunch Bars have. But if you make some a little thick, then you have a little bit more chocolate on some of them, which is not a problem for me. All right, now we're just going to go chill this, and we'll be back to take it out and cut it. All right, we're back with our Crunch Bars. These have been chilling in the refrigerator for about an hour, a little more. And so we're just going to take them out of the dish by grabbing the foil and bringing it out. And then we just kind of peel the foil off. It comes off pretty easily. And now I'm just going to cut it into smaller squares. And that will be our Crunch Bars. Sometimes it breaks off, and that's fine. We're just making them into smaller little pieces here. Oh, there we go. And we've got kind of a variety of sizes. Here. And then they're ready to serve and enjoy. And we're ready to let the kids fight over the biggest ones. Vegan Crunch Bars.
This time we are going to make some vegan peanut butter cups. And for this you'll need some peanut butter, some chocolate chips, and some confectioner's powdered sugar. First we're going to take 1 cup of peanut butter and 1/3 cup of powdered sugar and mix it together in a bowl. This creates a thicker consistency that you find in peanut butter cups instead of just having plain peanut butter. Although I have done it with that and it works, but if you want the familiar thicker texture, this is the way. So the powdered sugar will puff up in some air. So just be careful and just kind of get it together mixed in. It will get thick, but that's what we're looking for the center of our peanut butter cups. Alrighty, so we've mixed in our powdered sugar into our peanut butter, and you see we have this nice, thick, creamy concoction. to put in the center of our peanut butter cups. So now we're going to melt one 12-ounce bag of chocolate chips, and then we will come back to assemble our peanut butter cups. We're back with our melted chocolate chips, our mixed peanut butter, and our muffin pan filled with some cups. We're using reusable silicone cups. These are really great. I recommend getting some. Otherwise, you can use some paper cups, or you can kind of grease the cups here. So what we're going to do is we are going to put chocolate in the bottom of each of the cups. And this does get messy, so just kind of take your time. Okay, so when you're filling the bottoms, it's kind of easy to get a little overboard on the bottom, but remember you also are going to need some for the tops. So it's really just trial and error. I don't quite have a great system. I guess if you wanted to use like a tablespoon with a rubber spatula to get it out, you could, but I just kind of try to make do. Now all the bottoms of our muffin tin are filled, and I tried to just mainly stay in the bottom, but it gets a little tricky and finicky, so just do the best you can. So now we'll take a scoop of our filling, which is the peanut butter mixture, and we just plop it in. This might be a generous amount, it might not, and just kind of set it on top there. I like to try to get it mostly in the middle so that when I put the chocolate topping, it goes all around the peanut butter. When you're working with sticky stuff, it can be a little finicky, but just enjoy. And this actually might be a lot of filling. So you can make quite a few of these. Or you could use the filling for something else. So I am on the last one, and I have quite a bit of filling left, and the recipe on the website does call for, does say that this recipe makes 24 cups. So you see I have close to half of our filling left, but I don't think I have enough chocolate to make another 12. So either I am heavy-handed with the chocolate, which is very, very possible, or we might need to update the recipe. So play around with it, FYI. So now we just take some more of our chocolate and set it on top. And I like to spread the chocolate that's on top all around to try to cover the whole peanut butter. All right, so I have covered all my chocolate cups in this muffin tin. Now, like I said, I don't know if I'm heavy-handed with the chocolate, but I did need to go back and warm up some more chocolate to get sort of my last 4 covered. And it might be that this pie tin is bigger than what the recipe card calls for, or it might be that I like a higher chocolate ratio to my peanut butter filling. So, but this is the final product. We'll put this in the refrigerator to cool and chill for about an hour. If you want it quicker, because it sounds so yummy to you, you can try 20 minutes in the freezer, and then they'll pop right out and it'll be delicious. Now, I do have some leftover filling, so you can go ahead and keep making some more. Or this could be good as like a peanut butter no-bake bar. You can like crunch up some graham crackers in the bottom of a pan, or press this into the pan and then coat it with whatever little bits of chocolate you have left. You could mix the crisp rice into it and then roll it in some powdered sugar and make little no-bake peanut butter balls. So there's all sorts of things you can do with the leftovers if you've sort of reached your capacity for filling little cups. All right, we'll be back to show you these. We have taken our peanut butter cups out of the freezer, and they're pretty solid. Just pop them out and peel the sides down, which is pretty, that's kind of why I like the silicone cups. I feel like they're a little easier to peel apart. And you just loosen the sides and peel down. And there you go. Vegan peanut butter cups. So we decided to just go ahead and try to come up with something with our leftover peanut butter filling. And all I did was I added some crisp rice cereal until I got to a mixture that I thought looked pretty good and hopefully is not super sticky on my hands when I try to roll this into a ball shape. What I'm gonna do to help prevent that is, this is powdered sugar. I'm just gonna go ahead and tap it a little bit and kind of rub it on my hands. Just rub a little bit. It's kind of the same thing when you like work with dough and bread and you put a little bit of flour on your hand. So hopefully that's enough. I'm just gonna take a scoop with the spoon and roll this into a ball, and then roll this in powdered sugar, and we will see how these come out. All right, not too bad. And then we have a little treat that is not chocolate based. Okay, so this is the last one. And with our leftovers, I got about 7 out of them. My hands got quite sticky, so I recommend maybe every 2 or 3, putting a little more powdered sugar on your hands, but nothing major. And there we go. So here we are with the final product, and maybe let's call them peanut butter snowballs.
All right, you guys ready to try our newly developed peanut butter crunch snowballs?
Yes!
Sure, give it a shot.
Let's go.
See what you think.
Oh God, that's delicious.
That's really good.
That's amazing.
Why have we just invented these now?
This taste is gonna stay on my taste buds for a long time.
How many more of these can we have?
None right now because we need the rest for pictures.
Oh, all right.
Okay,
Thank you, bye.
bye-bye.
That was really good.